Hi, I'm Jim Clark, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. I'm excited to invite you to a very special event, the Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi's annual Dance Like the Stars Gala. It's a great time and a great event, and I can speak from experience. Several years ago, I was one of the participants, so I know you're going to enjoy this. It's happening on Saturday, July 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cadence Bank Arena. Visit www.bgcnms.org to get your tickets, and we'll see you at Dance Like the Stars.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Good evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Waupon. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6 on what has largely been a dry and hot beginning to the work week. We expect that heat becomes one of our big headlines going forward as heat indices push up in excess of 110 degrees. We do have an exciting new partnership, of course, we want to tell you about here in a couple of minutes that I think is going to help sustain us going forward and hopefully help us to help you as we go through active and severe weather. We are trending a bit drier as we go into the next couple of days, though we still obviously have some showers and thunderstorms out there, and tropics are starting to get busy. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard will be looking at that as we're tracking the very latest look at the tropics in a couple of minutes. Behind me, you can see one of our cameras across North Mississippi, and as we kind of remove the graphic there in front, that is in the Greenville area, and you can definitely see some of the showers there. So we're looking live in Greenville at this instant. We're going to pan things back to the west. There's the Greenville location. There's some of the showers. There's that heavy rainfall associated with that. And there's kind of the edge of the clouds. And it just shows you how dark it is. Anytime you talk about dark cloud, people sometimes think dark means bad. No, dark just means tall, blocking out a lot of sunlight. Though we do have a couple stronger thunderstorms, or at least potential for a few spots we'll look at in a minute. 91, feeling like 100 degrees there at this instant. Pontotoc now, the one isolated shower, obviously much smaller, so not particularly strong. And luckily, in Pontotoc and most locations, we're not talking about severe thunderstorms today, though certainly some moderate rainfall beneath that one there. As you can see, looking back toward the north and west there, north of 278, closer to really the hurricane community there. And as we look outside in Smithville, we're 90. It feels like 99, and those clouds much more flat. Where we do have, again, that one shower there, that is over top of the waterway. Notice how just fuzzy it looks. It's a sign that it has peaked and is kind of fallen apart. We call that being glaciated, weather term, the nerd term, to just basically say not particularly strong. And again, 99, that feels like temperature. And outside, new camera we're debuting this evening. Appreciate the folks there at the Iron Rails cams. This is the Crossroads Museum up there in the Corinth area. Of course, we're down a little lower, but you can see the clear skies that are largely a story up there. 88 degrees current temperature. Our hour-by-hour forecast this evening over the next 12, we're looking at 85 degrees there at 7 p.m., 78 by 10 o'clock. More often than not, we're going to be dry. Maybe not 100% dry, but fairly dry as we go into the evening. 76 by 1 o'clock in the morning, and about 74 to 75 degrees to begin the first part of your early Tuesday morning. On the wide shot here, I want to start off actually by changing our graphic for a moment. And Gabe, we'll see if we can click on that down there at the bottom. Is that not going to click on us real quick here? Okay, I think you might have put the different one in there. That's fine.
We can do it on analysis.
Okay, yeah, let's go over to analysis and let's pull up here, I'll go ahead. If you've got it on analysis, and I'll switch this over here to this SPC. And I wanted to show that severe risk area. If you'll click that onto there. There we go. So the reason we're kind of showing this is up there in Corinth, you're on the edge of that level 1 out of 5 severe risk area. There's kind of a front up here that's more the focal points for some showers and thunderstorms. So this is really the zone where that's the most likely to see something a little heavier. I think honestly, that's the exception to the rule for the most part, because I think for most locations, it's just going to end up being these pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but not an impossibility up north that we have a few of those that are a little bit heavier. Bringing it back here to Mississippi Live Weather Radar. And I mean, an underwhelming number of thunderstorms, thankfully, at this instant here. And that's largely the story as we continue drier the next couple of days. We're watching a few of these, as again, we saw those back out there toward the Pontotoc area a moment ago out into Pontotoc County. But when you look at these, we're only kind of moderate on the rainfall. These are not particularly impressive as far as that is concerned. They are moving about 20-ish miles per hour, so we're going to track that toward the northeast. We show that getting close to the Buchanan community at about 6:10, Ecru by 6:22. We're New Harmony about 6:39 there, so obviously getting close to that Blue Springs Toyota plant there, and in getting in the Blue Springs we show at about 6:46. Again, overall, that is largely about all we have out there, which is a good sign. I say that, and we'll come in close. We'll catch that one there in the Fulton area for a moment. In Fulton, we do show that one shower near Mantachie. We'll clear off that track. We'll give you a track on this, but again, this is relatively weak at this time, moving toward the Fairview community about 20-25 miles per hour. We show that in the Fairview by about 6:31 at this time. So as we transition back over, Gabe, so that we can go back and look at the surface analysis and really kind of where Futurecast takes us from here over the course of the next few hours. Wider shot shows again that tropical disturbance there that we were talking about down there closer to locations in Florida. And Futurecast shows that largely stays down there, but it's a lot of really heavy rainfall for some locations like that. I say tropical, it's more subtropical, but it's just a sign that we're heading closer to that time of year as hurricane season starts to wrap up. This H is our story, and it's bringing in drier air, and so that keeps us mainly in the drier category as we go into this evening and into tonight. You can see here into the overnight hours, just some clouds starting to come up from the south, but again, not a real meaningful precipitation in our area, kind of on the wider shot here. And Gabe will drill down more on where some of those rain chances could show up here in a couple of minutes. So as we transition here from Futurecast into your next 24 hours, we're starting off tomorrow morning around 74 degrees. We're 83 by 9 a.m., 91 by noontime, and then into the mid-90s tomorrow afternoon. But hiding below that 94 is really what that heat index is. And it's going to feel like it's in excess of 105 degrees in many spots. That will again probably reach us near those heat advisory thresholds, and that's something that our meteorologist Gabe Maynor will break down in a couple minutes. Rain coverage up around 30%. Again, pop-up thunderstorms, but most of us dry into tomorrow afternoon. So even though it's a dry day, obviously severe weather coverage, a large part of the reason why people trust us here on Mississippi Live Weather, and it's part of the reason why our newest partner is joining us this evening is because of her desire to make sure that we protect you. You've probably seen it on the screen below me here where it says Room to Room Weather Center. So I want to bring in Lisa Hawkins with Room to Room. We talked to you briefly at 5, and I just, for those folks tuning in just now at 6, want to thank you so much for partnering with us here and trusting us, obviously with your brand, that you just do so much for the community. And I think we have a good alignment. I'm thankful you see that.
We definitely do. I mean, I see, on your sites, faith, family, and then you got the weather. I've got homes, and there's no place like home. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
A couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times. But it's very important for people to be safe. And growing up in this area, I mean, I was just thinking after we talked on the first time, I grew up as a young child in Verona, and I remember when Shannon was hit with a horrible tornado, and many people were killed, and just going and looking at that oh yes, the cows and the different things. And so if we can work together, we can keep people safe and save lives. What could be more meaningful than that? Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm very honored that you think that we can do that, and we definitely couldn't do this if you hadn't had faith in us very, very early on, before any of this existed. That to hear people who are in business believe that maybe this is something we could do certainly was a confidence builder, and we couldn't have done it without you. So
I was sitting in that Dallas airport when we started talking about this. But it's very important for us to provide the service that you offer to our community. We're very thankful for you. We want your family to do well.
Thank you.
We want you guys, your family, to do well, and that's what it's all about, us helping each other. So we look forward to supporting you and a long relationship.
Well,
so
we look
thank you.
forward to that too. And obviously support Miss Lisa. She, Room to Room here in Tupelo has some of the most amazing furniture you can find any place around. Yeah, I know you're not. I'm gonna see how many shades of pink we're gonna send you into. But I mean, really does. Please support those folks that do support us here. It's one of the ways in which we can continue to provide this service. Obviously, and I just thank you so much for trusting us with your brand, with doing this. We couldn't have had this without the Room to
It's
Room Weather
great.
Center without
It's
you. So
great.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt.
helping
Do
us.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll try to do that. You do the same.
Okay. Take care.
So anyway, let's send you on to commercial break here for just a moment. And of course, we do have sponsors that are showing up there as well. Support those folks. We just thank you so much for trusting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Gabe will have the very latest, looking at the tropics, think eventually we got some weather pictures coming up as well, Gabe, right? In a few minutes. Yeah, we'll be
Popping off once again.
yeah, once again, as they always are. And that's you sending in those photographs to us. We just love to display them. All that coming up here as Mississippi Live Weather at 6 continues right after this.
I was made for this. Crawling through the muck to find where the real problems hide.
All this dampness, it's perfect for mold, and that can mean headaches, rashes, even chronic illness for your family.
That's why we offer our Healthy Home 7-point mold inspection to restore your health by restoring your home.
Focusing on water and mold control from the crawl space to the roof, you can call Absolute Restoration, your local and trusted restoration contractor.
Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping. Got a few minutes? You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. And again, a big thank you to Room for sponsoring and making all of this possible. Again, we just can't do it without you guys, and we cannot thank you enough in the community for just supporting us, bringing us into your homes, and trusting us with all of your weather coverage. But looking at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, we are looking at a new weather pattern. As Matt was talking about, high pressure, we were talking about over the weekend that there was some increased rain chances for our Monday afternoon. That all went to bed whenever that high pressure shifted a little bit more west. And yes, even that subtle movement from south of Alabama to south of Mississippi matters because it brings in a lot of that continental air, which is a lot drier, that air from Kansas and Missouri rather than the air coming directly from the Gulf. So that's why shower chances have been down. You see on the west side of that high pressure system just how much moisture is sticking around. So that's why those dry conditions have been in place. But there's your next driver of the forecast, and where that goes will be a big factor of what we see here in North Mississippi. So let's go ahead and walk through what we're seeing on our Mississippi Live Weather radar here in North Mississippi. I want to say that we have that shower activity, but it has produced some of that outflow boundary there towards Lowndes County. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few showers pop up in and around Caledonia, there towards east side of Clay County, down around Aberdeen. Just as that builds a little bit more north, maybe some isolated showers continuing, but continuing to watch Pontotoc for that one isolated shower, very isolated shower moving across Pontotoc County. And then that one moving closer to Fulton across I-22. That's really our primary areas we're watching. Cleveland and Shelby going to get a good downpour here in a bit as that storm crosses the Mississippi River, moves across Highway 61, and there you see it across 278. So it's going to be a busy afternoon for some, but I picked out a few specific locations because that means North Mississippi as an entirety is looking a lot drier. Those specific areas are the only ones that are going to see showers. That's really what we've been seeing all throughout the day. Rainfall totals coming in, we're talking about 3/4 of an inch in some isolated locations, but a lot of areas getting trace amounts of rainfall as those showers have moved on through. Very light in nature, not that heavy downpour we got yesterday where it was in excess of 2 inches. But as you see, as it moves across the Mississippi River, this is definitely going to be the one we watch for increased rainfall totals there in Cleveland, Shelby, even up and around Clarksdale before that does dissolve further into our Monday evening. So day planner does show those chances dissolving, so not sticking around through the entirety of the night. Daytime heating, a big driver in our forecast, and that's why we just don't see those storms overnight. So luckily tonight, still going to be a pretty quiet night across the region. Futurecast shows those rain chances dissipating out and still maybe seeing 1 or 2 isolated showers and storms develop overnight, but overall still keeping that dry pattern around into our Monday evening and into our early hours of our Tuesday. So when we say no rumbles of thunder, we're not even talking about any shot of rainfall. A lot of that moisture coming in the form of cloud cover, so partly cloudy skies. That's going to be the name of the game for our forecast overnight. Folks in DeSoto, Tunica, and Tate County, that's the areas we're watching for maybe some early morning sprinkles, but even that's a bit of a stretch in our Futurecast. So just showing that drier trend. It's going to continue to stick with us into Tuesday. and maybe even Wednesday and Thursday, depending on how that low interacts with us. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, low 70s across the region, right around average for this time of year. So that's not the surprise. The things we need to watch for is more towards the afternoon. So watching Futurecast into our afternoon basically shows those showers trying to initiate there towards DeSoto and Tunica County. But as it moves more into that northwest Mississippi area, sticking together just a bit along that Tennessee state line by noontime, and that's where it'll primarily remain before spreading out, dissipating out, and losing its steam as it moves more into Marshall, Tippah, and Benton County. You can see more storms are definitely possible towards tomorrow afternoon, but still very isolated in nature. We're not going to see widespread coverage, so that's why those chances aren't as high as what we've been seeing. So maybe a little bit of that dry spell continuing for our forecast tomorrow. We'll take any bit of dry weather that we can get just because how active it's been. But with that dry weather comes hot temperatures. Mid-90s across the region with 96 down around Greenville, 95 Houston and Amory, as well as Starkville coming in with 95 as well. So that hot forecast, that's going to be sticking around, but so do the muggy conditions. Well into the triple digits across North Mississippi, and even if you're not in the triple digits, you're close enough that you're going to be included. So that continues across the region with heat advisories continuing to should be in effect for that Mississippi Delta, just with that moisture providing that mugginess and keeping that hot and sticky atmosphere together. That'll be the case for our Tuesday once again. So that hot and muggy air, just can't get rid of it. But luckily, as we head overnight, those conditions do calm down temperature-wise and rain chance-wise, so we're not going to see a drop of rain into our Tuesday night. Wednesday, keeping the dry conditions around for at least the start of the day, but there you're seeing some of that moisture moving in from that low, seeing it primarily towards Alabama, but wrapping around just a bit to where we get some of those showers popping up around mid to late afternoon. You'll really see it late afternoon when a lot of that moves in just south of Highway 82. You'll see it right there with those isolated thunderstorms still possible. That's going to be around 8, 9, and 10 o'clock. So overnight showers probably going to be a realistic possibility for our Wednesday night, but that'll just be dependent on that low. Again, we'll look at that low here in just a moment. We'll still look at temperatures because with that drier trend that we're going to see, 96, 97, 98, not out of the question. I want to say if we keep trending this way, we might see an isolated triple digit, but that would still be a bit of a stretch right now, but that just shows how we're trending a little bit higher each and every day. Heat indices following that same trend with several locations right around 109, probably even 110 in some spots, just showing how hot and muggy it'll be. And if you thought today was bad, don't worry, it just gets worse. So enjoy today. Tomorrow, forecasted rainfall-wise, trace amounts of rainfall across the northern extent of the state, just with those isolated showers moving in by late morning to early afternoon. Wednesday, still seeing those trace amounts of rainfall, but primarily going to be Alabama state line and south of Highway 82. That's that threat for some rainfall that we're watching come out of that low pressure center. But as we head into Thursday, it becomes a bit more widespread. Those chances increase just a bit, and we're seeing about 1/10 of an inch in a lot of locations as we head about our Thursday afternoon. I wanted to highlight the next 5 days because that's really the lifespan of that low pressure center and where we might be able to see it here in North Mississippi. You can see 1/4 of an inch in a lot of locations, with places further to the south at about 1/2 of an inch. Now, expanding things out, you can see where that low is moving towards. So it's basically starting in the Atlantic coast right now. I know I'm off screen, but see my hand. That's right around here, moves over the top of Florida before reaching the Gulf sections of Florida, just on the other side of Gainesville, and then propels across the Gulf. Now, where it sticks around in the Gulf could possibly develop into a tropical depression. Still kind of a stretch at this point, but at least supplementing a lot of that moisture. And as it moves west, it's going to have that counterclockwise motion. So opposite of what we're seeing with the high pressure, we will see that moisture replenish if that low is on our east. So as long as it's on the east, propels that Gulf moisture in, and we'll see some of those storms wrap around into North Mississippi, seeing some heightened rain chances. So depending on how far west it goes is how much rainfall we'll see and just how those rain chances will be impacted over the next several days. But as of right now, what we're seeing rain chance wise is 20 to 30% coverage Tuesday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, a little bit more heightened with those rainfall totals as that low propels a little bit more towards the west. So we're definitely paying attention to that to impact our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday rainfall chances. So make sure to keep it here for the very latest. But as of right now, this is pretty much a good tell and showing how those trends have been, and that's what we expect going forward. So looking at those rain chances, that's not the only thing we're seeing on our 7-day. Temperature-wise, just going to be hot and muggy over the next several days. That's been the name of the game of the past several days. But luckily, at least we get some drier weather with that. Enjoy it. But where that low moves into play, we'll definitely keep you updated here at Mississippi Live Weather on the very latest with that forecast. Just know that it's a possibility, but as of right now, not expecting significant impacts from that. Now, we do have the Mississippi Live Weather app giving you the very latest on that information, but we also have Weather Watcher pictures that you guys submitted through the app that gives us some of those eyes in the sky. So make sure to stay with us after the 60-second break. We'll walk through that in just a bit more detail. And any questions that you guys have, put them in the chat right now so we can answer those here in the next block. This is all about you. We want you to have the information you need. And of course, we'll provide that here at Mississippi Live.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather. We're going to start this block with your pictures, your weather watchers out in the field. You guys are a part of our team and giving us a great look at the skies. Again, we appreciate all you guys do. The pictures are overwhelming and just absolutely stunning to see what you guys see, especially whenever it sunsets like what Jim saw down in Aberdeen. Looking at that sunset over the horizon of the Aberdeen Dam, and also with the alto cumulus clouds up in the sky. We have those cumulus clouds across the region, which basically are those cotton ball-like structures. So that's kind of the fun clouds that you can say looks like certain things or anything like that. But whenever they get to be a little bit taller development, that's where we get those alto cumulus possible. So showing that vertical development makes for some picturesque pictures, but also provides some isolated showers like what we've been seeing. So Jim, a dry forecast. Hopefully you guys stayed dry while you were out in the water, but thank you for that picture there in Aberdeen. Cynthia and Ecru showing those alto cumulus clouds as well, just basically covering the entire sky, looking like there's rows and waves up there in the sky. A great shot there, but also a great shot of that sunset off in the distance. This is Cynthia there in Ecru. Thank you for that picture as well. And whenever we're talking about today's forecast, Kim in Columbus highlighted it perfectly. Blue skies, rain shower. Right beside each other. I didn't have to move a muscle. And also you get that rainbow in the middle of it when that sunshine interacting with that moisture of the rain falling creates that, that prism, and that's where you get those rainbow-like patterns. So that's a great shot there highlighting it. I'm trying to see, is that a double rainbow? Caleb, am I crazy? I can see it. It's slight. It's slight. You got to really try for it, but I'm going to say it's a double rainbow. That's a great shot, Kim in Columbus. One of those few isolated showers we saw across this afternoon, but it's just a sign of more things to come. Those afternoon showers, typical this time of year. Luckily, should be a bit of a drier forecast, but this low pressure center out there in the Atlantic propels over Florida, and once it enters into the Gulf, that's what we're watching for, possible a moisture replenishment into the next couple of days, at least for your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That has a 30% chance of developing over the next 7 days, which, as you can see on our scale, is on the lower end, so not a high confidence that this does develop into a tropical depression, but the chances are still there, and we're paying attention to it because at the end of the day, a low is enough to circulate in a lot of that moisture, those winds in that counterclockwise motion. So as I do this motion right here, you can see if it's planted right on the south side of Alabama, brings in that counterclockwise motion, you can move into North Mississippi. So as long as it's on that east side, on that right side of your screen of where Mississippi is, that's enough of a placement for it to supply enough moisture into our area to at least produce a few showers, a few storms, and could see some gusty storms at that. So whenever we look at that forecast for that system, right now it's continuing to be in the Atlantic, but that will propel across Florida, across Gainesville, Jacksonville, and really move into the Gulf where it'll build a lot of showers. So if you're planning on going to the beach over the next several days, I'm so sorry. That forecast is not looking that spectacular. But here in North Mississippi, we might escape just a bit and stay hopefully a bit on the drier side. High pressure helping with that right now, the low pressure helping with that over the next couple of days or hurting that. It's really dependent on the positioning of that low, and we'll have further updates tonight at 10, tomorrow evening, the next evening as that moves closer and closer to North Mississippi. Looking at that day planner for our overnight hours, still seeing those isolated showers possible, but overall clear skies across the region. That continues to be the forecast well into the overnight hours, so it's going to be a beautiful forecast for our Monday evening. Any plans you may have, just bring an umbrella just in case. More than likely won't need it. It'll be a great time to get out and about. So make sure to have the Mississippi Live Weather app handy. Caleb, I want to ask, do we have any questions in the comments?
No questions right now.
Staying clear. But if you guys do have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can do so at our email or on the app and just let us know what you guys want to know. And as we head into the evening, I know we're going to have sunsets, so submit those pictures at the Mississippi Live Weather app. There's a submission tab on the side. Once you click that, you put the time, you put the date, and you put the locations automatically put on there. And of course your name. We want to know who's out there submitting the pictures, and a big thank you to you guys again in the community making all of this possible and being a part of our team to piece this show together. This is for you guys and to provide the information that you need, and we cannot thank you guys enough for making all of this possible. So for all of us here at Mississippi Live Weather, thank you for tuning in at 6. We'll see you back again tonight here at 10 with the very latest on how that low's looking, how your rain chances are looking, and what you need to know heading into the rest of your work week ahead. So have a great evening. We'll see you at 10.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy.